Hello everyone, this is Josh McCruitt for week 4 of our Master's Program in Science. I have 3 activities that I'm going to do today from the Stop Faking It Energy book. They have to do from chapters 1, 2, and 3. The first chapter, Recognizing Energy, I'm going to do a activity that has to do with potential and kinetic energy. It's the one with the books, roller, and marble. But for purposes, I do not have a marble. I have a toy ball, since I cannot have marbles in the house with the kids. The second chapter is very similar. It has to do with the gum band, and that also has to do with energy. The third one, it slices, dices, and gathers dust. That has to do with the micro machines activities, where there's tools that will help us in everyday life. For example, if we didn't have the jack, there's no way we can lift the vehicle up to change the tires. So without further ado, the first activity that I'm going to do has to do with potential energy and kinetic energy. As we know, potential energy is items and objects that have the potential to have movement with gravity. How vehicles move downhill is a good example. Kinetic energy is the actual force. So the farther, for example, up on a hill, if you have a boulder on the top of the hill, the farther it is, the more energy and the faster it's going to go. So with this activity, it's pretty simple for the children. You would gather books. We have books in the classroom. An example, we have 3 textbooks from, I've had these 3 textbooks since I've gotten the program in Silver Rock. Simple roller, and you're supposed to have a marble with this trick, but I have a toy ball. This will do the trick. And you're supposed to take either styrofoam or plastic cup and cut the bottom of it, and then you line it up. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the ball, and we're only going to go a third of the way up. And what you do is you have a piece of paper, and you want to see, you mark how far each roll would go. You'd start with a third way up the roller, 2/3, and 3/3. So let's start with the 1/3, and let's mark it off on our paper. And one here. So that went about 2 inches from the starting point. So let's go 2/3 of the way up. Oh, let's try that again. It didn't turn out as well as I wanted it to. There we go. And that course went a lot farther. Second try was right here. First try was right here. And let's do it from the complete top. And of course, it rolled off the paper. So with this activity you could do with your students, it tells you that the higher you go, the potential and kinetic energy has greater force of gravity. So, I mean, this would be a great activity to do with the kids in the class. I've seen similar activities done through my student teaching and substitute teaching, where they would have races. And what I could do in the classroom is I could take, we could like do a time minute and see how far two teams could go with their cup across the floor using a marble and a cup using this trick. Of course, we can use a yardstick or something a little bit bigger. Use a little bit bigger ball. We can be creative with it. So the second trick activity is very similar. You still have to use the cup, but this one has to do with rubber gum bands, and that has to do with potential energy. What you would do is you take the cup and you just use a simple medium-sized rubber gum band. You would, as we know, the rubber gum band has potential energy where it has the energy to possibly move. So let's do with 1/10 of a pull, and as we tell, not much. So that'd be like this tapping the pedal of a vehicle. So let's go about halfway, and as we can tell, the cup moved a little bit. And the third one will go the whole way back. As we can tell, the cup went a lot farther. So this is a good trick, good activity we could do with the kids. It shows how potential energy can turn into kinetic energy, where it has to do with gravity and movement. For the final activity we could do with the kids, it has to do with the third. It slices, dices, and gathers dust. And for this one, it has to deal with micro machines, not like the car, but little micro machines, tools that can help us in everyday life. And for this trick, all you would need activity, you can use a simple, about a foot long stick, a piece of wood, or a roller. You need a pencil. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the pencil in the groove and put this in the middle. And then you would need to get a hard object, like anything that's blunt, small. For this, I have a piece of concrete rock. And as we know, that let's pretend that this rock weighed 400 pounds. As a normal person, unless you are a strong man, there's no way we know we can lift this normal rock if we wanted to move it. But as we know, there are simple tools. We call them today like wedge bars that could help us move it without exerting that much energy as ourselves in the human body. So I'm going to put the rock, I'm going to put this dead center even on the pencil. I'm going to put the rock on the one side. And what you do is you would have the kids feel how much force they would need to push down to see if they can lift the rock. And as you can tell, I'm pushing a great deal. So right now it's even, where my force is even with the rock's force. So what you can do is you want to give yourself leverage. So if I wanted to lift this big rock, I would try to give myself more of a leeway with the crowbar or the wedge bar, or in this case a stick. So what you do is you would take your source of your what you put your stick on and get it closer toward the rock. And if you push down, as I could tell, that rock is a lot easier to pick up. And let's do it with real close. Now I do this every day, not every day, but I like working in the yard a lot, and the heavy objects. Like we have a big bridge we just had in the flood. We had to make a wedge where we would have to lift this bridge up. This bridge, it weighs too much where we can't pick it up. But if we have a wedge or a jack, it'd be easy to pick up without using that much exertion. So it feels like you're lifting feathers. So if I would get this wedge close to the rock, push down on it, I can lift this without much exertion. Now, like I said, all three of these activities are a good way to show the kids about potential and kinetic energy, and how gravity and force has many, many ways of helping us out. Well, thank you for your time, and have a good day, and hopefully I will talk to you and be hopefully working with everyone in the future. Thank you.